Hop aboard the Oreo Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's.
You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. You know, I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets.
I'm interrupting this commercial to do something I've never done before. Get 2 MyPillows absolutely free on orders of $100 or more. I can't do this forever, so get on board with this great sale today. Our best-selling 6-piece bath towel sets or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Our famous standard MyPillows only $14.98. Queens $18.98. King size only $1 more. Body pillows $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase $9.98. Save $40 on our spring percale and Giza Dream bed sheet sets. Any size, any color. So go to mypillow.com or call that number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And when you spend $100 or more, get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
That's free, guys. Go head over to mypillow.com. Check them out. It helps us out here. You're supporting a Patriot company, American-made product. Go check out all the stuff they have. They have so many things on that website. It's one of those that you could get caught slipping and buy a couple extra things. I'm going to have to buy some dog beds pretty soon because ours are been pretty old and wearing out, especially when we throw them in the car and travel with them. So go check it out. We appreciate it. We appreciate our partnership with mypillow.com, and just use promo code Oreo. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to the second show of the day. It's starting to warm up a little here. Hold on. I'm going to check this out because I think it feels a little bit warmer than it really is. And maybe because I didn't have the air on in here while I was prepping the show, I was, yeah, it's only 98, high of 100, so it'll hit 100 about 5 o'clock. And then if you look, so today here at the Oreo Express studio, it's 100 degrees. Tomorrow, 104. Saturday, 104. Sunday, 103. And Monday, 104. You know what that means? That means that's good news. That means some swimming weather. The pool's going to be warm. It's going to be nice. We're going to be hanging out. Let me jump into the comments really quick. Susan, how are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Rob Wallace says, hey, everyone, round 2. Hunter's in the house. Nola's up in the house. Thank you. Trina says, hugs, Josh. Hugs back, Trina. And then we got K Texas. Looking forward to getting off work. Man, doesn't that feel good when you get to clock out? Let's see. Sugar Bear's in the house. KLM 79. Let's see who else is in here. Microtaz, probably sneaking an earbud at work, I'm guessing. Let's see. JH Candy Bar. Let's go down to the bottom. Oh, here we go. Matt's in the house. First Amendment Media. Let's see. Who else is down here? Melissa. And thank you. I got two Venmos for the last show. Let me see. Got to make sure I get this right because it didn't notify me until I was off. Haha and Melissa, thank you so much for your donations, and thank you for helping us get the monthly bills paid. We appreciate you. I am not the milkman's in the house. Watch out. Watch out. He coming door to door. Guard your wives. Dawn is in the house saying good evening. Let me get down to the bottom. There's a lot of chats. Mom X Swift. Jay keeps asking. Karen Sunflower. So you guys are in for a show today. We had a federal immigration operation. Sounds like maybe two of them. It's hard to actually see, but at least one. And lo and behold, the anti-ICE, or whatever you want to call them, anti-American protesters were there, and it got a little crazy. We're going to show you that here in a moment. We're going to start off with some Clown World. We've been showing you a lot of Clown Worlds. These people glad that white children died in the Texas flood, and just you see a whole new meaning to TDS. We've had Trump derangement syndrome for a while. We've all dealt with it. You got tariff derangement syndrome. We got some good news on the stock market today. So if you're in that stock market, old Uncle Bill was finishing another thing. Oh, Uncle Bill, man. Trina, can you go ahead and start that right up? Thank you for being here, old Uncle Bill, and thank you for gifting those subscriptions in the earlier show. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you. So yeah, we've been seeing a lot of stuff recently, and the crazy thing is the legacy media and Democrats are justifying it all. We even got a video of Karen Bass. She was confronted on what was going on in Texas with you have an ICE officer and a Texas authority figure shot at two different ICE facilities, and you got to hear her response. It's just crazy. But as we get started in this show, right at the 7-minute mark, I guess that's kind of my intro now, about 7 minutes. It says, meet Sarah. Sarah is a nurse in Colorado who publicly said she plans to combine her job in the ER with targeting people who support MAGA. This is just crazy. It's just crazy. I remember I was a little nervous when I had my back surgery. I did wear my MAGA hat. I was like, you know what? I'm going in there. I don't care. But luckily, most of those people were hardworking people that didn't hate America. It says, let's make Sarah famous and find out which hospital she works at so we can help her transition into unemployment. This is from I Mean, Therefore I Am. Let's listen to Sarah.
You love it until you can't. I just thought of a way to combine my MAGA hating. And my work in the ER. MAGA supporters are like people who hold on to fireworks too long. You love it until it hurts you. Kind of like, you love it until you can't retire until the age of 70. So see it in the ER, folks, when your fingers get blown off. Oh, have a good day. I just thought of a way to combine
So I guess she's RKM Rocky Mountain Sarah on Lemonade.
MAGA hating and my work in the
app out. But man, I'll tell you this again, guys. You know how politically motivated I am and how politically charged I am, and how there's probably not very many waking hours that I'm not worried about this country, worried about my children's future. But I never sit here and think of how I could destroy somebody's health, how I could even the fast food stuff. People's, this person's MAGA, I'm going to give them the special sauce. I'll spit in their food. Like, to me, that's a special type of insanity. I'm sorry. Those people should be curb stomped. Let's go old school. Let's go American History X on these folks. Because this right here, if I'm your employer, and I've employed lots of people when I manage those different departments, different companies. And man, I'll just tell you what, I was very fortunate. I had to fire people, but you know what? We didn't put up with a whole lot. You come to work. I never talked politics at work. It was, again, we had shareholders. We had one of the companies I work with. I was part owner because it was an ESOP. And you want to do what's right for that company. And in turn, if you're doing what's right for the customer, it's benefiting the company. And these people, I hope she's found. I have a feeling she'll be found. Check this out. Speaking of Clown World, let's check out Clown World right here. Um, we've covered a lot of Joe Biden's decline, but look at this one here. Talk about decline. This is the decline of America.
You have concerns about the president's health and his. None
No,
whatsoever.
I had none. Now, granted, I didn't see Joe Biden every single day, but I did have an opportunity to interact with the president. I never had a concern. If there's anyone that I am concerned about their mental acuity, it is the current occupant.
It's the guy that's got the stock market going through the roof right now, even after all those tariffs and even after our Fed Jerome Powell won't lower interest rates, which would just boom this economy. Talk about the housing market, everything else. It's just crazy. Check this out. Thoughtcast has rated the stream. That looks cool. I need to learn how to do that. Thoughtcast, thank you so much for rating the stream. We appreciate you. Thank you guys. Give Thoughtcast a big old shout out and go over there and follow him if you haven't yet. Thank you very much. I think it's one of these things that, worried about Trump's mental acuity. If I thought there was concerning things about Trump, actually, I'm trying to put together something right now because he wants to, he from what I understand, and I didn't have time to look at it all, maybe after the show, if we get done early, I'll look into it. But it sounds like he was going to use his presidential authority to fast track weapons to Ukraine. And I have some opinions on that. And they're not opinions. And I don't disagree with it because I think it's part of the chess game. Putin, I think Putin's playing a game that he's going to regret soon. And then also Jasmine Crockett. Check this out. This is big on the Democrats' minds today. We shouldn't need a black woman's equal pay day. But here we are, still underpaid, still undervalued. 66 cents on the dollar means we lose thousands every year for doing the same job over a lifetime. That's hundreds of thousands gone. Pay black women, period. Now, I'm all for paying people what they're worth. I just think this is another one of those days where we look for victims and we try to put out. Now, I'll be honest with you. I've made a lot less than black people before. I worked for a boss who was purchasing manager of me, and I didn't complain. I did 75% of the work. He had the title. I didn't complain. But it's just so funny how they want to create this victimhood mentality. And I'm telling you, you will get nowhere and succeed in life with a victimhood mentality. There's parts of the Bible, every night we do this devotion group where we read a section of the Bible in our church thing and our men's group. And then yesterday we had a great church service. And one of the things, that was said is it was part of what they call Freedom Ministries. And, kind of like you got a lot of people have a lot of things they haven't dealt with in their life. And one of the things I took away is just thinking with one of those things that I see is this victimhood. And it doesn't matter what color people are, whatever, but there's always people you talk to that seem to be the victim of everything. You ever notice that? Like you have a conversation and nothing's ever their fault. And, the reason things are happening, and I started thinking about that. To get true freedom and to really get yourself, you have to get rid of that. You have to just own up and say, you know what, maybe and this happens a lot in marriages where whether you're talking to the wife or the husband and they're splitting up. And I think it's a big drag on your life. And hopefully people get that because you're not a victim. You're not a victim. And you know what, I want to know where these fake statistics come from. Because women in general were always lower on the pay scale. And there was a good reason for it. Maybe not in California, but I've worked in a lot of industries. I hired, I fired, I did all those things. And one thing you notice is, I pulled this up last year, the statistics when they were talking about this. And it was talking about how many hours men work versus women. So There was a substantially amount of more hours men work. The time off taken by men versus women. The time off, and that's why I excluded California. I think in California now, if you're a father and you didn't give birth, you could take like 6-8 weeks off or something crazy like that, man. I'm like, holy cow. I want to know who has the job that can actually take that much time off. I don't care if the government's paying you or not, because I can tell you when I worked, I had a lot of responsibility. As a purchasing manager, you oversee a department, you oversee all the parts going out to production. If you're not there and there's a problem, you're sending a couple hundred people home because they don't have the parts out there. And I was like, I remember when my first was born, I was a purchasing agent at a company called Upright. They built the lifts. They were the blue lifts, the man lifts, the boom lifts, very large company, the largest employer in Central California. And I remember I got a call from my ex-wife that she was going into labor, and it didn't happen. I think it happened the next day. And there was some scary times when you're having a child, and they had to incubate my son and everything. And I remember I was just a mess. But that next day, I took a shower in the hospital, and I went to work. And I remember my boss sent me home. He could tell I wasn't all there. And I had a great boss. But again, there is a difference between what men and women do. Now, if you go to a regular job that's just pays $15 an hour, everybody's getting paid $15 an hour. And again, a lot of times they also looked at the fact that the type of jobs people choose, believe it or not, by race. It was interesting when we seen all that. We did a whole show on that. Check out Dollar Store Obama right now. Innocent children drowned to death in the Texas Hill Country. Federal and state government failed them, but they don't have a way that federal and state government failed them yet. They've tried everything. They tried the FEMA. They tried Trump. They moved on to our DHS Secretary, Kristi Noem. It says, what are Donald Trump, Governor Abbott, and House Republicans doing about it? Their focus is to gerrymander the Texas congressional map in the middle of the decade. So again, Hakeem Jeffries is worried about politics, not worried about everything else going on. I guess with these tariffs and everything, you have nothing to complain about because the economy's booming. You know what? I meant to save some of these. I got another story right here about more fraud. More and more people are getting busted for food stamp fraud and everything else. There was actually one, and I don't have the video up. I'm going to try to find it tonight, where this person was bragging on TikTok or Instagram or one of these places that how she started bragging about like 4 months ago how she don't have to work, and she was showing all her food and how she had money and she had a nice car. I guess there was an investigation. That video triggered an investigation, and now she's being charged with fraud. And I thought, how things work. Well, check out Brianna, and we're not talking about
Georgetown County
the other one,
charges.
but check this out. This is crazy. We need more of this.
Georgetown County facing charges after officials say she committed food stamp fraud. 35-year-old Brianna Simmons is charged with fraudulent acquisition or use of food stamps at more than $10,000, valued at $10,000 or more. Those charges are coming from the State Department of Social Services after officials say that Simmons fraudulently got nearly $57,000 in supplemental nutrition assistance program benefits, or SNAP benefits. She has been released from the Georgetown County Jail.
That's crazy. Waste, abuse, and fraud. We've never really went after these people before, and you're starting to see it under
bond.
this Department of Justice and things. Again, there is a lot of abuse out there. I've told you the stories. I used to work at a place where people would be selling food stamps all the time and everything else. But you know, I'm happy that this is going on. Again, there is people. I'm not against helping people out. I'm not against EBT. I'm not against Medicaid. I'm against the abuse of it. I'm against giving it to people that it wasn't intended to. But we need to give them a hand up, not a handout. And before the government got involved, that's what churches did. And guess what? If your neighbor was a drunk and spent all his money on alcohol and was passed out in his front yard. You know, the community knew that. We're not going to help you out. We want to help you get clean. We want to help, not our government. Here's some more beer money. And that's the difference of way things have gone. You know what's interesting is I love the CNN polls lately, man. I'm not a fan of CNN. I do watch it. You know what? Trump stole my line the other day. I think it was in one of his meetings. What do I always say? I say I watch CNN all the time. You got to know what the enemy's doing. He used that line when he was talking about CNN, and I thought that was epic. That was epic. Americans don't care about climate change. I think people have had enough. The rise of cost and everything, and nothing's changed. You spent trillions of dollars saying you were going to solve climate change, but now every time it rains a little bit more or doesn't rain enough, you're blaming climate change. So check out the CNN poll, and it had to hurt them just a little bit to put this up on the screen. I know it did.
Are Americans afraid of climate change? And the answer is Americans aren't afraid of climate change. Climate activists have not successfully made the case to the American people. I want you to take a look here. Greatly worried about climate change. We have data going all the way back since 1989. Look at that. It was 35%, 2000, 40%, 2020, 46%, and 2025, 40%, which is the exact same percentage as back in 2000. Despite all of these horrible weather events, the percentage of Americans who are greatly worried about climate change has stayed pretty gosh darn consistent, which kind of boggles the mind a little bit. Granted, everything that we see on our television screens, our computer screens, the hurricanes, tornadoes, the flooding, but yet greatly worried about climate change, 40% in 2025, the exact same percentage as back in 2000. Are Americans afraid of climate change? And the answer is
he boggles. He says it boggles our mind. Everything we're putting out there, everything we're telling you folks, and you're not believing us. I think this is just great because the climate scam, the green news scam, all these things that we've had over the last couple years that has done nothing, that has not made you any better. And the funny thing is when it comes to even Biden's EPA, they had to admit, don't know why, but somehow the air was cleaner and the water was cleaner under the last Trump administration than it was under Obama and Biden. Maybe because, again, when you restrict everything and you put your thumb on manufacturing, on everything else, it's just not a good thing.
Americans aren't afraid of climate change.
Industrialized boom to happen in this country. So just wanted to cover this really quick, and then we're going to get into some great stuff. Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins are roadblocking President Trump's rescission package. We told you that they have rescission packages coming through. It's going to codify some of Trump's executive orders, some of the Doge cuts. It looks like, of course, Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins are roadblocking the President Trump's rescission package. It says they've recruited Senators Jerry Moran, Mike Rounds, and Dan Sullivan to dig their heels. All to protect nearly $5 billion in pork for USAID. Again, we talked about, we spent an expensive amount of time talking about where the money for USAID goes. Again, we need to cut the funding to that. And it's just, this is PBS and NPR funding, Yemen Community Resilience, Iraqi Sesame Street, Pride Parades in Lesotho, Palestinian media companies, electric buses in Rwanda, vegan food consumer base in Zambia, civic engagement operations in Zimbabwe. Those are not things U.S. tax dollars should be funding. I'm not that against funding things once we fix our own backyard, but we probably need about, I don't know, couple $1 trillion here first to fix our infrastructure, to fix our roads, to fix our bridges, to fix just everything that we have here that's starting to fall apart here in the United States. I want to put America first. I am an American nationalist. And again, once we get our backyard cleaned up, we'll come over and we'll help you clean up yours. What else do we got? Breaking: the State Department employees are preparing for a massive layoff as soon as Friday. This is after the Supreme Court of the United States cleared the way for the Trump administration's termination plans. This is awesome. This is awesome. Again, we want to reduce the size of government, put the American people back in the driver's seat, if you will. Put the wheel in my hands. Let me go at it. Again, a lot of waste, a lot of fraud, a lot of abuse. And the Supreme Court ruled that the judge out of, what was it, San Francisco, if I remember correctly, can't halt that at this time. How about this one? I mean, every once in a while we do a lot of bad news, but it's sad we have to talk about this, but this is some good news. Take a listen to this.
Starting August 1st, child grooming will officially become a crime in the state. Support police and judges, another tool to go after predators before they harm a child. Tanja says the new law will also benefit her current work, which includes helping survivors of sexual abuse.
I'm excited about this law because at the end of the day, we have to protect our kids in every way possible.
Tanja believes this will send a strong message to every parent and guardian in Louisiana that the state won't tolerate this kind of behavior.
When you do this, when you groom or you have other people groom for you, then there needs to be laws that prosecute you because that pain and that shame and trauma, it's no joke.
Well, if you or someone you know is a victim or you suspect someone may be experiencing grooming or sexual abuse, there are resources available. We will include a list of support services with this.
That's awesome. That was the new Louisiana law making child grooming a crime, goes into effect August 1st. Hats off to Louisiana. Hats off to Louisiana. It'll give law enforcement and prosecutors tools to crack down on child predators before the abuse happens. Again, regardless of what we do, regardless of what bills we pass, if we're not putting the children first and protecting them, we've done nothing. We've done nothing. How about this? Let's look at some
growth.
goodies.
It's a growth story, and you know it's hard to see it any other way.
Take a look.
Dow Jones Industrials, okay? It is at 44,631. 44,000. It might hit record territory today. It's bouncing off at just a teeny bit. 450 would be a record as we get closer to the closing bell. Fox Business correspondent Jerry Willis reporting live here with me on set from New York. So, Jerry, you know, it's like we were told the tariffs were just going to trash the market. I mean, if doomsday, everybody, Larry Summers, everybody, right?
Absolutely.
It's going to be a disaster.
No.
What's going on?
No. Investors have decided it's the best thing ever. We keep getting all of this news on new things that the president is doing, new tariffs here and there, and markets don't care. They are rising higher and higher every day despite those headlines. And look, markets are soaring with both the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 looking to set new records. The Dow less than 1% from the new all-time high. And what's really shocking about all the optimism, what we were just talking about, all kinds of tariff headlines, like today's 50% levy on Brazilian exports. Remember, it was news of the Liberation Day tariffs that sent stocks plummeting in April, wiping out $5 trillion in global stock market wealth. The Dow, for example, lost nearly 10% in 2 days. But that's old news to investors who are looking at the possibility of the start of an interest rate easing cycle by the Federal Reserve. Meeting minutes from the central bank today showing support for rate cuts as Trump repeats his call for Jerome Powell, whom he calls too late, to get in action and cut rates. There's other good news spurring stocks too, though: falling consumer inflation expectations, falling oil prices. Then there's the promise of burgeoning CapEx spending by companies. That's a result of the big, beautiful bill's unprecedented immediate expensing for
falling interest rates, falling oil prices. I mean, remember when Chuck Schumer, Cory Booker, Pocahontas, all those people, that we're going to hit a recession, we're going to be in the Great Depression again, we haven't been here since 1920 something, all these things, and we're just sitting back here like, folks, This is all speculatory stuff. Give it a couple days. Give it a couple days. Buy now. Remember when I said we don't give stock advice, but buy now. And if you would have bought now, you would have been a lot better
It
off
may sound
today. And I just thought that was great. And then there was another one from CNBC.
And S&P both hitting all-time highs. And S&P both.
Stop. Let me fix this. So this is just epic news. Oh.
And S&P both hitting all-time highs. Investors brushing off tariff developments as the president imposes his highest rate yet on Brazil. The S&P and Dow posting their first positive sessions in 3. Consumer discretionary and real estate leading, communication services and tech the laggards. Industrials hitting another all-time high today. Bitcoin too, crossing 113,000. It is now up 97% just in the past year. And S&P both hit.
Great news, breaking news. Trump's killing the economy. That is just awesome. I want to see if I had any notifications from Pepe was up 10.10% 1 hour ago. Dogecoin was up 5%. Stellar was up 6.5%. Shiba was up 6.5%. Awesome news, man. I love it. Hey, can I say it? I voted for this. Now, earlier we said we didn't have time in the first show to show you this. We talked about the Epstein files and we talked about Alan Dershowitz. I want you to listen to this exchange really quick. Take a listen to this. Tell me what you think.
This is not an opinion. This is a fact. I have seen, remember, I was accused falsely and and ultimately I was completely cleared. The woman admitted that she may have mistook me for somebody else and withdrew all of her lawsuits. And so from day one, from the day I was accused, I said, I want every document out because I knew every document would prove I was innocent. So let me tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed. And they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them, but I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them, and that's wrong.
Just out of curiosity, without names, are these politicians, business leaders, both?
They're everything. And let me tell you, a lot of them are. At least one of them is somebody who was accused. Others are accusers. And the judges have said, if somebody calls themselves a victim, we're not going to give any information about them. But they may not be victims. They may be perpetrators. So we don't have information about false accusers. And we know there have been many false accusers who have accused innocent people for money. And those records are being deliberately, willfully suppressed. And they shouldn't be suppressed. If the accusation is allowed out, so should the material that diminishes the credibility of the accuser. We want total transparency on this. Every single document, no redaction. That's what I've said from day one. I waive any of my rights of privacy. Anything there is about me, I'm happy because it will be exculpatory, because I know I haven't touched a woman other than my wife from the day I met Jeffrey Epstein. I don't even hug people, but I was falsely accused and I was able to prove it. And I was able to prove it through documents. And I want other people to be able to disprove false accusations through documents. But these documents are being suppressed and withheld.
So the reason why we played that is because there was a report that the Department of Justice was going to be releasing some Epstein files, and that that's what they had told the courts. And now we have all kind of fake news saying, oh, the Epstein files are all going to be released. They didn't say what. They didn't say a black book. They didn't say anything like that. And so that's where we're at with that. I tend to have an idea that I would trust what he is saying. But there's a lot more digging that's going to go on there. And we need to figure out how this is going to work. I know there's been a lot of pressure. I know Steve Bannon's put a lot of pressure on, but Alan Dershowitz himself out there saying release the documents. He was what he calls falsely accused in that, and so we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Let's see, what else do we got here? How about this one? Let's listen to what Tim Burchard has to say. I trust Tim Burchard in a lot of stuff. He might have some kind of a good idea of what's going to happen.
And would it have caused? I think the files existed at one time. I think previous administration, and I think if they'd ever had anything on Trump, it would have been out day one. Agreed. Under the Biden administration. And I don't. I think there's some very prominent people. There's Hollywood people, but I think there's world leaders too. And would it have caused economic disruption around the globe? Maybe, but I don't really care. I want to.
Do you think there's a theory? Is there a theory, perhaps, that none of the, or not none, but maybe some of the people on the list didn't do anything wrong, and this would be a terrible guilt by association to put their names out, just to put everybody's name out? No one's been charged with a crime. Put all these people's names out, and suddenly, because they had an interaction with Epstein that was completely benign, they're labeled as one of his buddies?
What's Miss Maxwell doing in jail? What did she do? Where is that? You know, who did she provide whatever she did? Why is she in jail? You know, that's got to be a question that should be asked at some point. But again, under the previous administration, we're not going to get that. Dead men tell no tales. He's dead. And
well, I just want to be clear what you're saying. Are you saying the previous administration destroyed everything, or are you saying that the Trump administration is basically doing the same thing as the previous administration?
No, I think they destroyed everything. I think
so. Why wouldn't Pam Bondi say that?
She doesn't have any proof of it. I'm just telling you what I think. I've been around this town enough. I don't think I think she's got over her skis pretty much, saying all this stuff. The files are on my desk. I'm going to release it. And then she releases stuff that I knew, so I just don't think, I think they all got out there, got a little excited, and I don't think they exist. And that's my currently. I think they did it. I think they did it one time. You got an administration that lied about it, said Hunter Biden didn't, his laptop, that didn't exist. That's Russian. You had 30 of the
I get all that.
Intelligence people in the country say that, and they didn't get chastised by anybody, but y'all and a couple others.
Well, that's some of the speculation. That's what we speculated on, was there could be a possibility that the hardcore evidence has been destroyed. He said something else there that I think that I've talked about, that this is global, that this would disrupt the markets, where you could have people up there sitting there saying, well, this is so big, it'll disrupt the world markets. It could cause the economy to collapse. It could cause a lot of things. It could cause, I wouldn't say World War III, but I think you guys get where I'm going. That maybe their opinion is it's better off sealed. One thing I will say is, regardless of what happens, I don't think going forward that they will allow anything like this to happen. Let me see. We got Mom Extra says they can't release a lot of this stuff yet because they have to take care of the corrupt court system before they can make any arrests. Could be holding off on that. Matt says, I kind of agree with that. Texas Bigfoot said someone is gaslighting us with the missing Epstein list. Well, what's amazing is we had 4 years of Democrat control. Democrats never called for the release of it. They said he killed himself. But now that it's the center of some news, even with the MAGA front, the conservative front, now Democrats are saying, oh, Trump's on the list, so release the list, because I think they understand they're using it again as a weaponization tool. just like they are everything else. So we're going to follow this as we always do everything else. We'll see what happens. It's going to be crazy. Check this out. Remember the guy that they arrested while we were, they didn't arrest him while we were live, but we were covering the protests, riots in Los Angeles. And I think it was the Fox News camera panned over to a truck dropping off all these stuff for rioters and stuff. And then he got charged federally. Well, Katie Davenport posted this. Hopefully this person's next. Take a look. I'm going to put this up on the screen for you. It says, new Portland Antifa militant Tim Eiserman has been supplying his comrades with riot gear so they continue to clash with federal officers outside the ICE facility. He says a new shipment of goggles and respirators have arrived. So there's his Tim Eiserman. The respirators and goggles just came in. Holler if you're in need. Priority goes to folks on the front line getting chemically assaulted by the CE pigs day in and day out. Again, thank you so much to the folks who helped pitch in some dollars. Love and solidarity to you all. I mean, this is exactly what they look like, guys. This is, it's, you can spot them a mile away. But hopefully the FBI is onto that. And because we've watched, we've sat there and watched what they're doing, and we're going to get into the raid and the violence that occurred in Ventura County in one moment. But I wanted to go through this person's post. You remember the lady, the black lady that was out there and went and told off Antifa outside the Portland ICE facility? She's literally becoming a household name. She is epic. She was posting some of this stuff. And where did she put it? She's sitting here and she put a thing up. She's blowing up on X too. But she put a thing on there that she never really knew what Antifa was, and now she's getting a taste of it herself. And she put this up there yesterday on her feed, and it says, I'm protecting myself and my community from the weaponized noise that's hurting innocent people who live near ICE. We want the peace part of peaceful protesting. You can support me and contribute. And it has a thing for the lawsuit I filed again today against the city of Portland. So she's out there. She's out there filing lawsuits now. It's been like, what, 35, 34, 36 days. And if you go through some of her posts, she goes, I wonder if liberal Portlanders knew that there are people in my building who need dialysis, but can't leave because Antifa has laid siege to the ICE building for over a month. What would they think of this? And I guarantee she was no person there. But this is the look from her balcony right there. That's why she got so pissed off. And, it's, again, there's downsides to everything, but there's also some good stuff. Now, let's check this out. When I was scrolling through the show, I seen KTLA. And KTLA had this picture up, and I was like, here we go. It says a possible immigration raid at a farm in Ventura County escalated Thursday afternoon when agents began firing tear gas on a crowd that had started to gather by the operation. Once again, this isn't happening. Nobody's blocking federal immigration from doing their job. Well, they are. We got some videos to show you. Check this one out. We'll pull this one up right here. This was from one of the feeds. You can see this. This is in Camarillo. There's the standoff with the agitators, the anti-Americans. She's got a leaf blower. She's blowing them with a leaf blower, guys. So when the tear gas comes, these people are insane. Oh, man. So this is from about an hour and a half ago. There's another one right here. Let's see. This is when they started deploying. You see people throwing rocks right here. You see that guy? That guy just threw something. I mean, this is after yesterday. We've seen them assaulting all those officers in San Francisco. Not one Democrat has spoken out about this. Again, these are illegal aliens. These are targeted raid. They're not going into church and just saying, "Excuse me, sir, you look like you're from Honduras." Look at. They should run in there, grab him, tackle him, arrest him, charge him with a couple felonies. We've seen this same action play out in Los Angeles when you had people trying to murder the Border Patrol by throwing bricks through their windshield. I still think it's crazy. The lady had a leaf blower. Look at that car just driving over the farmers' fields. They don't care about anything but illegals. Now, what's interesting is it's horrible to see this. We got a lot more video too, and we'll pull up some more. It's horrible to see this, but at the same time, this is backfiring on them. When Trump says we're sending in the Marines, oh, you can't do that. This justifies that action. This justifies when all they're out there doing is an immigration operation. They're not kidnapping folks. They're giving them a free transportation back home where they belong. This is our federal immigration laws. If Democrats had any problem when they had the White House, the Senate, and the House, they should have done something. But instead, they wanted to use it as a talking point for elections because they have nothing else to stand on. What were they going to stand on? Bidenflation? Take a look at this one. This is from KTLA 5, another overhead shot of that. Take a look. Get that up on the screen for you.
Of that is that there are questions as to how humanely this is being handled. Whether these people who are maybe here illegally, but whether they're being offered or can be pointed in the direction of a path to citizenship, there certainly is that criticism. But you also have Republicans at the same time accusing Democrats and those on the left of amplifying this rhetoric against federal agents and ICE agents. Seeing this finger pointing.
All right, Julia, we may have to step away really quickly here. The situation at the farm has escalated. It looks like a lot of tear gas and whatever this green smoke is as well. And a protester threw something toward the ICE officers there, but a lot of cars turning around and exiting. So it looks like something happened that forced that crowd to turn and run. Rich, are you still?
Yeah, so as we're listening to the radio chatter down here, the fire department actually had to leave this zone, and head back to their where they have set up a command center for treatment for the civilians. And they said that they needed to leave the area because the crowd was starting to get a little more hostile. So for the safety of the fire department, they have left this zone here on Laguna Road. And then shortly after that is when we started seeing the tear gas and the flashbangs and the pepper balls being fired back towards the crowd. But the crowd was also picking up items, rocks, whatever I guess they can find on the ground, and starting to throw them back towards federal agents, which is just going to create an even more volatile situation here between agents and the community members. And they at some point are just going to continue to push this crowd further and further away from.
We got some other video here too.
Of that is that there are questions as to how he
this just justifies the actions. How about this one? Let's see what this one looks like. There might be a little bit of duplicates in here, but some of them will be better than others. Looks like they did arrest one. Check that out. They probably started shooting pepper balls. Look at, they're going to pull him down to the ground. They're going to arrest him. Is that the one with the leaf blower right there that they're getting? It looks like the chunky one. Again, this was all today in Ventura County, Carrillo. I mean, it's unfortunate. This is what I mean, think about this. They're not doing anything illegal. They're enforcing our immigration laws, plain and simple. And you got a portion of this country that are communists, that hate America, that burn the American flag, that don't like the way, that don't like the Western way that this country is operated. They want to, it's the same people, the same jihadists, the same people. They're just all in line together, the far left. Take a look at this one here. This was a on the ground shot. I love the screen. Oh, come on. Get up on the screen. No reason. You're blocking the roads. You're throwing rocks at them. You're not following officers' orders. Look at his douche donut. He got a douche donut on his head. Those are all the ones that were detained right there. You can't see them very well, but they're up against the wall there. So, and we got more. We even had an elected member. I think we'll get up to that in a minute. But I just want you to listen to Karen Bass, because we watched this. We watched for a couple days before Trump brought in the National Guard in LA. We covered it every day. They were trying to block these federal officers and trap them inside buildings using all different forms of methods, from dumpsters to everything else. Our High Patrol did nothing in California. The police department did nothing. And that's
kind of more of a broader, Mayor Bass, this is kind of more of Mayor Bass.
Take a listen to this here.
This is kind of more of a broader national question. Reports indicate that ICE agents and police officers in Texas have been targeted in ambushes, including in Alvarado, where assailants in tactical gear allegedly lured officers with fireworks before opening fire. Given your strong opposition to federal immigration enforcement actions in Los Angeles, how would you address similar escalations of violence against law enforcement in Texas? And what steps would you propose to prevent such unrest from spreading to Los Angeles, while balancing community safety in your sanctuary city policies?
Well, let me just say that the quote-unquote riots that were reported never happened.
Mayor Bass, this is kind of more of a broader national question.
The riots never happened, folks. What we were showing you, when we showed you all the destruction, when we were showing you videos of people throwing bricks through, when we showed you literally Antifa and the militants out there with hammers breaking cement pillars so they would have ammo to assault and injure our officers, that never happened. We got to forget about that, guys. Just erase that. What was that? Men in Black? It never happened. This is the insanity.
Question reports indicate that ICE.
I'm surprised she's not saying the fire in the Palisades didn't happen either, because that was a total catastrophe caused by Democrat policies. Take a look at this one right here. This was Congressman Salud Carbajal was denied access during a Homeland Security operation. A very large crowd gathered at Foothill and Casitas Pass Road for about 2 hours. 10 people were reportedly taken away from a nearby cannabis farm. Just listen, once again, can you imagine being an elected official? This is congressman. Can you imagine being a congressman and they're raiding the neighbor's house and you're like, I want to go in there. I want to see. These people are unhinged. These people are unhinged. I'll show you this video here. This is crazy. Again, but when the Axios report came out, we talked about what is the far left, the crazies want their elected representatives to do? Take a bullet. Take a bullet is what they said. Look at how they are standing up for illegal aliens. They've never fought for an American citizen like they are. Right now, these people are here illegally. They're working under the table illegally. They've committed crimes once they've been in the United States other than just their immigration crime. And you have congressmen going there trying to go cross police lines. This is insane. You are nobody, congressman, but a traitor to this country. Just a traitor to this country. You're here to represent American citizens, not illegal aliens. Here's the one with the blower. This is a close-up to the one with the blower.
To show you that I respect my community and my hardworking raza. My family has been here fucking 8 generations from my mother's side. Now motherfuckers, I took out first to stand in front of you to show you that I respect my community and my hardworking raza. Mexican American with Mexican blood to the fucking bone marrow. I'm ashamed of this fucking country right now.
Then go home. Leave.
You fight for a 34-count convicted felon. A rapist and not allegedly. Your daughter being raped, motherfucker, was found liable of misconduct and rape of women. Remember that. You serve a criminal tonight. You took an oath to the Constitution. You did not take an oath for this shit. Stop with the Nazi bullshit. Is your family proud of you? Do you feel good now? Are you a little man that's picking on people that are trying to work?
These people, again, folks, they're holding a foreign country's flag. They're free to go there anytime to that shithole country so they could drink the water and get sick. They're so entitled. They're so entitled. This is what makes me, it's like, and we got to keep in mind, this don't represent everybody. I used to preach that in Black Lives Matter. These idiots don't represent everybody else. But it's just amazing. Again, once we start ending any federal funding, any entitlement programs to these people that obstruct our law enforcement, you're going to see a fast slowdown, because most of these people, they're on the government's tit. They're on the taxpayers' tit. Let's see. How about this one? This was another
Trying to make a
overhead
stance
shot
and
out
trying
there.
to,
Take a look at this.
This is happening at Wood and Laguna, and you now see the military vehicles advancing despite those protesters
Look at the
trying to make a
Mexican
stance
flag,
and
hitting the
trying
window
to
with the Mexican
stop
flag.
the military vehicle from
Yeah, rip that
continuing
flag
on,
up.
and
Rip
there's
that flag
cameras
up. Put it
rolling,
all
cell
over
phone
that
cameras
rubber
rolling.
tire.
And this group of people are really trying to get this military vehicle to stop, and it doesn't appear that it will. It is continuing to push forward, and now the people are moving away from in front of that military vehicle, which is a good thing. We don't want to see anyone get hurt.
Oh, the
But again,
flag
you
stuck,
see this
fatty.
grouping of
Look at the
military
flag
vehicles
stuck,
advancing
fatty.
towards the federal agents further down on the street.
Shove that flagpole where the sun don't shine.
And now
oh,
we
look at they're
see
throwing
that,
things
there's
at the
some-
windows and on the
some
vehicles.
water or something else being thrown at some of the military vehicles driving by the trucks.
I just want to interrupt this broadcast to let you know this is not what peaceful protesting has looked like. We peacefully protest. It is a God-given right. It is a constitutional right to go out there and protest. Not assault, try to dismantle vehicles, try to break windows on vehicles, try to stop vehicles that are actually enforcing our laws to make this community safer, to make your community safer. These people right here that are protesting, I'd be very careful right now if I were them. I really would. I really would. I'll be honest. You might say this is wrong, but I would find out each and every one of those. If the government wants to hire me right now, you guys know we can find information. Put me in there, and we're going to do a whole background check on their whole family, and we're going to go after every illegal in their family. Once again, this is what American people voted for. The number one wasn't the Epstein files, folks. It was border security and deportations. We watched for years as tens of thousands of illegals that were not looking for asylum. We interviewed them. We talked to them. I'm just here for a job. Economic reasons is not a reason for asylum, by the way. I know Democrats will probably try to tell you that, but we'll finish this one off and we'll go to our next video.
The protesters very clearly upset by what they're seeing, trying to intervene on behalf of the people who may be detained at some point here.
See, this was still going on when I was getting ready to start the show. I don't know if there was arrest. I'm hoping there were. Let's see. Let me pull this up. See if there's some more videos outside of there. Already seen that. It's the same video there. See if there's anything else. I love the yelling and the screaming. Look at that, they got their kids out here. You know what? Hold on. That looks like that sign you see right there when illegals cross into the United States and you're driving down, what is it, the I-5? And it has a caution sign. That's the picture they took it from when the illegals cross and they're running across the freeway. Oh my gosh, look at that. They're wearing masks. I didn't think Democrats wanted anybody wearing masks.
not panic. Do not run. Do not run. Stay calm. They took your mom? Do not panic. Do not run. Do not run. Stay calm.
So again, and what the news wasn't reporting is this is a cannabis operation, a weed operation, which makes substantial amount of money. So it wasn't like this farming community. The strawberries, folks, you're not going to have strawberries or grapes. This is weed. It's legal in California. You're not breaking any laws. But if you're telling me that you can't pay American citizens to work in your cannabis facility and you need to hire illegals, I just want an answer why. You say that's jobs that Americans won't do. I'm going to tend to disagree with you. Let's see. Federal immigration raid. Have we seen this? See if we've seen this.
Se andan como que se llama, se llevan a la raza, como que pasó, ¿qué pasó? Se llevaron más de 50 gentes, ¿no? Más de 50 gente indocumentada. Yeah, if you want to. There's 4. There's how many helicopters?
There's 1, 2, 3.
No, yo no puedo respirar los que están adentro. Vale, verán. En cuando les tiran las bombas, que van a salir como gente detenida. Se andan como que se llama.
Again, it's going to get much worse. It's going to get much worse, guys. And this justifies use of force. This justifies the military being in there.
Basically all afternoon from.
Let's put this one up there.
Yeah, okay, so our breaking news crew has been out at this scene basically all afternoon from the morning for about the last 90 minutes. And there was a line here of protesters confronting U.S. Border Patrol agents on Laguna Road, just to the west of Las Posas Road, where we have seen U.S. Border Patrol agents conducting some kind of immigration-related action or operation at a farm here. A large group of people, about 100, maybe 150 protesters showed up. You can see all of the cars and news media there. It appeared very peaceful until just a few minutes ago when something touched off that confrontation. It looks like Border Patrol launched some kind of possibly irritant, smoke-type irritant. We don't know if it's tear gas or something else at the crowd. They quickly dispersed. Our crew had to get out of there. You can see this is video is basically just into our newsroom as well.
So there you have that, guys. But you know what? Hats off to ICE, Border Patrol, and all them other folks. Before we move on, let me put this up on the screen really quick. What's that? Another notification. A 9.1% things are rising right now in Trump's economy. Hey, guys, if you haven't tried 1775 coffee, give them a shot. One of Rumble's coffees right here. They got a starter kit that just dropped. Inside that starter kit, you're getting the bold dark roast that hits harder than a CNN fact check, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality Mushroom Coffee for clean energy and laser focus with no crash. It's all single origin, small batch, toxin-free, and mold-free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic, a frother, and a black 1775 tumbler that says, I don't take life advice or caffeine from a woke sea witch. This is $170 worth of coffee and gear. It's yours for only $99 right now. If you guys have been hearing about us talk about it, it's been blowing up on Rumble. You want to know if it's worth it? It is, guys. Go to 1775coffee.com. You can go /studio for this deal, and you can grab your starter kit before they're gone. That's bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble Day does. Start your day with coffee that actually backs what you believe in. That's, again, 1775coffee.com /studio. So give them a check out. Let's see. Let's move on now. Let's get that one off the screen. Today, a lot of these hardcore anti-Americans, these communists, are mad at John Fetterman. I want to show you what he tweeted and what he said in an interview. It says, ICE performs an important job for our country. Any calls to abolish ICE are 100% inappropriate and outrageous. Now we've known Fetterman to go back and forth on stuff, but he's getting it. And then how about this one? I shared this one out a little while ago if you haven't seen it. But again, good job, CBP. Border Patrol agents in Michigan arrested 2 criminal illegal aliens. One was an MS-13 gang member who served time in Salvadorian prison for murder. 5 grams of crystal meth was also found. POTUS continues to fulfill his promise to clear our streets of violent criminals. I shared this and I said, Democrats will say that's not an MS-13 gang member, that he was just suffering from multiple sclerosis. And now Trump's going after folks with multiple sclerosis and deporting them because, you know, that's what it is. How about this one right here? The Trump administration is arresting the worst of the worst. ICE Salt Lake City arrested Guadalupe Cuevas Sotelo, a 48-year-old citizen of Mexico. His criminal history includes conviction for sexual abuse of a child and attempted rape. Bye-bye. This is what I voted for. Democrats, legacy media, none of them are reporting on who's actually being arrested. We covered this one a little bit.
High-ranking member of Melvin Varela Perez. He's been wanted for 5 murders and is considered a high-ranking member of the gang. But even though he's been on El Salvador's 100 most wanted list since 2016, he crossed the border and was released into the U.S. under the Biden administration.
Perez was arrested. He was on one of the 100 top most. Remember when they said everybody was vetted? He was on the most wanted, top 100 in El Salvador. We knew that, and we released him into our streets.
Alongside an associate named Rene Escobar Ochoa, who had a red notice from Interpol out on him when he came across the border. The Department of Homeland Security reacting in a statement saying, quote, the Biden administration allowed 2 ringleaders of MS-13, one of the most violent gangs in the world, come straight into our country. One of these depraved aliens is on El Salvador's 100 most wanted fugitives list and is wanted for 5 counts of murder. The other has an Interpol notice for drug trafficking. These are the kinds of scumbags sanctuary politicians are protecting and letting walk free on America's streets.
Borders are.
Yep. They want these people in LA and in California. Check this out. This was a story here in California today. Ashley Zavala reported on this. We are a sanctuary state here in California. We do nothing to help out federal law enforcement, no matter how violent the criminals are. And this was a report that she did today. It says ICE this year has submitted hundreds of detainer requests to law enforcement across Northern California. Jason Marks TV found a tiny fraction of them are being fulfilled, with the agencies pointing to SB 54. Sacramento County, for example, 181 requests, only one of those were filled. If you think about this, guys, when Democrats say, oh, they're just getting our farm workers, they're getting all this. Why are we spending so much time on having to go through these cities and go through all this? It's because there was 181 people in jail that had committed an additional crime. They're not in jail because they crossed the border illegally. 181, this is only Sacramento County, and 180 of those were released back into the community to commit more crimes. That is insane. And that's just this year. And think about it, you got a lot of different counties. Sacramento County is just one county in California. Now, I hope you guys are ready for some toxic masculinity. We got a video with some toxic masculinity. You're going to love this video. Take a look at it. This is epic.
You know what? We know why we were put here. We were brought here to rebuild the military, match capabilities to the threats of today. So while our adversaries have produced millions of cheap drones, before us, we were mired in bureaucratic red tape. Not anymore. In June, President Trump issued an executive order unleashing American drone dominance to bolster our drone industry and arm our warfighters, because that's what we're all about. So today, I'm rescinding restrictive policies that stifle production, and this will unleash American manufacturing and the ingenuity of our warfighters by doing three key things. First, we're going to bolster the U.S. drone manufacturing base by producing thousands of American-made products, prioritizing Buy American. We'll arm combat units with a variety of low-cost, American-crafted drones, leveraging our world-leading engineers and AI experts. And third, we're going to train as we expect to fight. Senior officers, well, I'll grab this. This is the memo. Senior officers must overcome bureaucratic risk aversion in budgeting, weaponeering, and training. So here's the memo we're signing today, delivered via drones here on the front lawn of the Pentagon with some of our great warfighters flying them. This is the future. We're in the fight. We're in the fight to win it. I'm never going to back down.
Only thing that could have been that better if he would have got one of those big badass drones and grabbed on and flew away. But that's epic. That's epic. We love that. We love that. Man, this is epic, epic, epic. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, there is something. And we've mentioned this a few times before. Whenever certain things spike near the Pentagon, usually something's going on. The night before the strike that we did on the Iranian nuclear sites, business was busier than usual at the local Domino's Pizza and the different takeouts. And unfortunately, the bars near the Pentagon were really slow. Polymarket tweeted this. We don't know if something's going on, but it's just fun to talk about. The Domino's Pizza live at 5 p.m., which would have been 2 hours ago, was busier than usual, almost double. So are they inside the Pentagon? Do they have something going on? We talked about it earlier, and I'm going to work on a show to specifically talk about what's going on with Ukraine, Russia. Trump is using presidential powers to expedite some stuff to Ukraine, some more missiles, rockets, all that good stuff. And I think he's done trying to work with Putin. We're going to get into that and more in another show. But I do want to say thank you all for tuning in. Once again, we are 100% viewer funded. Your donations makes all this possible. Lights, camera, action, data, phones, everything. And we want to say thank you for your donations. If you would like to help us out, it's the beginning of the month. We're trying to get some bills paid off. We're about halfway there on all the data and everything right now. You can go to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $ Oreo Army. We also have a Give Send Go, which is givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. It's down there on the bottom right there on our banner. And then if you do online or mobile banking and just want to send us a transfer that way, makes it easier for you. We also have Zelle. Our Zelle link is on our website. You can head over to our website, which is theoreoexpress.com, and scroll down our homepage. There'll be a donate now button there. And again, I want to say thank you to everybody tuning in. We appreciate you, and we can't do it without you. And we will be around the studio tonight. So if anything does break because of what's going on at the Pentagon, we will come back live, and we will be here with you. So God bless. Thank you guys, and have a good evening. We'll see you, if not tonight, tomorrow morning about 10 a.m. Pacific.
You're still looking good. I'm still feeling good. You know, I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets. I'm interrupted this commercial to do something I've never done before. Get 2 MyPillows absolutely free on orders of $100 or more. I can't do this forever, so get on board with this great sale today. Our best-selling 6-piece bath towel sets or kitchen towel sets, just $29.98. Our famous standard MyPillows only $14.98. Queens $18.98. King size only $1 more. Body pillows $29.98. Multi-use MyPillow 2.0s with pillowcase $9.98. Save $40 on our Spring Percale and Giza Dream bedsheet sets. Any size, any color. So go to MyPillow.com or call that number on your screen. Use your promo code to save up to 80% on all MyPillow products. And when you spend $100 or more, get 2 standard MyPillows absolutely free.
Well, hop aboard the Oreo Express, where truth don't hide and we don't second guess. Unapologetic, we're bold and we're loud, shining light on the left shady crowd. Oreo Express, rolling down the track, exposing the lies, ain't no turning back. Conservative fire, we're speaking the truth. At Oreo Express, this one's for you. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land. Oreo Express, let's roll, let's go. So grab your boots, let's take a stand for freedom, faith, and the heart of this land.